Welcome to The Hard Way on WrestlingRingPost.com. It's about 11 o'clock at night, and Vengeance is just wrapping up. You can tell that we don't care because we're actually filming right now. We've kind of read the results. Not too much really going on, I would say. Nothing out of the ordinary.
The biggest surprise of the night is that we're able to read.
The biggest surprise, I guess, of the night would be the Nash return and Powerbomb Triple H. I like how the sites are calling it like the shocking return that like he's never was going to come back. He came back. He attacked Triple H and cost them the match against him and CM Punk the match against R-Truth and Miz. Other than that, pretty much the standard pay-per-view.
R-Truth, D-Truth,
and the whole truth.
Nothing but the truth.
So nothing happened at Vengeance. So I'm glad we didn't pay the money to see it.
What about the big, the ring kind of breaking?
The
third time.
Well, the second real time. The ECW.
There was no real time.
Well, the real time, the ECW went on the fans crashed
the
it.
second time with Mark Henry involved.
No, it was Big Show.
Yeah,
Big Show and Lesnar.
I thought one happened with Mark Henry and...
No, Big Show and Lesnar. It's the only other time it broke in WWE kayfabe stuff. Whatever. If it's been done before and they've been promoting it like heavy, the Lesnar Big Show thing, why do it again if everyone knows that it happened already?
And
It'd be different if they never talked about it and it hasn't been done in 10 years.
And the best one they ever did was in ECW when it was Bam Bam Bigelow and Taz, and they went through the corner of the ring.
They didn't go to it. Was it corner of the ring?
Yeah, they went through the corner of the ring and they had to put the police tape up, and the guys couldn't use that corner of the ring for the rest of the night.
So, whatever. Who cares about that?
Whatever.
The most interesting news, I would say, of the week has been... There's actually been two big stories. Let's get to the first one. That's the one that everyone's really been talking about a lot. The Scott Hall one. That Scott Hall was on ESPN E60. He's not drinking for him. Let's put it that way, because that seems
nobody. I don't think
we just realized. I just realized
I don't think
that
anyone
seems a little
could
weird.
drink for Scott Hall.
No, not even Andre the Giant.
Couldn't come close.
So, we just got done watching it. I watched the trailer a while ago. We just got done watching the whole thing. Apparently, Scott Hall shot someone in the face, because it was a bar fight kind of, but it was because he was the bouncer and there was a bunch of girl problems and he smashed those windows and the guy was about to pull a gun on him and he grabbed the gun and shot him instead.
So we know that Scott Hall has 99 problems, but
yeah. So. It was kind of cool. I mean, his son apparently is getting into wrestling, which now we've heard that
they're not
on talking terms again, which is scary because Nash in the video said that he's the guy that's keeping him together.
He's an anchor.
He's the guy that's keeping him together. He's the guy that's keeping him from falling off the wagon again. So that's kind of not good. It was really interesting. The link to watch the video will be in the show notes in the links.
So as far as we know, Hall could be back on the Oregon Trail. So
yeah. So, I don't know. It's kind of sad. It was a good story. It's kind of sad to see that, you really think about it, Hall could have been, I think, maybe the biggest wrestler of that time period. He was one of the best solid wrestlers when he was sober, and it's a tragic fall. The stupid thing about the video was how the guy that was talking about pitching the story to the other guys was saying that Hall was probably the most well-known wrestler of the time period. That Austin and Rock and even Nash or Hogan at that time or Sting, like Hall was under those guys. He's even under Nash really. More people knew Nash at the time because Hall couldn't keep it together. If Hall could have kept it together, he would have been those guys. He was still a little rung under, but everyone still knew him. But come on, he was not Hogan or Sting or Rock or Austin. I mean, come on, that was stupid. That was ESPN piping it up the video to make it more important. But it was interesting.
It's just sad.
We'll go to the other end of the news in some good news this week. Sadly, Robert Roode did not win the title in the ridiculous 4-month build-up that he had. And he did not win the title at Bound for Glory, which we talked about. We thought he was going to win, and he did.
Sorry about his damn luck. James Storm won it.
That's right, yeah. So James Storm just won the title on Impact. And I like it. I think it's kind of interesting. I mean, I would have preferred still Roode to win it, Bound for Glory, like looking back. But It's kind of cool. I think it could, if it leads to a feud where it's just Storm and Rude,
I think it
where
will.
it's not Anderson, Angle, Sting, Hogan, or anybody else like that. Like 2 new, fresh TNA only guys that don't have any WWE.
I think it's
for the titles.
I think it's one of those where they were trying to figure out how to break up the team. For whatever reason, they didn't give Rude the title, and Storm has it. They were celebrating in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when it comes time for him to pick who he's going to defend the belt against, that's what's going to start the feud.
They filmed the next Impact taping. I think it's done. I haven't looked at. We'll see what happened. They announced a number 1 contenders match. Rude and somebody, I don't remember, but I don't know who won. So I would assume Rude and Story would just make sense.
Not necessarily, because with Rude not being the number 1 contender, he would feel that he should be the first guy to get a shot since it's his tag team partner. And if he's not, that's what could start the feud.
So I'm glad. I mean, it's cool. I'm sure that TNA fans are going to love that. I mean, even the hardcore diehard guys. So
well, the funny
kind of
thing,
see everyone on the same page.
The funny thing of it is, like I've mentioned before, where with the Hart Foundation, it was Jim Neidhart, the WWE thought was going to be the big guy. And with the Rockers, it was Marty Jannetty they thought was going to be the big guy. I think at the beginning of TNA with Chris Harris,
America's Most Wanted,
I think most people thought Chris Harris would be the guy to win the title, and everybody kind of underrated James Storm.
Right, yeah, I can see that. So
he reminds me of a young Shawn Michaels, especially when he won the title, when he was wearing the little glove things like Shawn used to wear.
So, in other news to follow up on other things we talked about, Lucha Libre USA is just finished their 3rd episode,
which
may be canceled. It got a 0.1 rating on MTV2 at 10 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday when, you know, wrestling fans were home watching wrestling. Like I said, I didn't like it last week. I thought it was terrible. I kind of like the first.
Watch it last week.
It was on last week's video.
It was the 2nd.
Oh, whatever. They'll get it out there. They'll just comment about it and complain. So, whatever. I didn't like it that much, but it was kind of nice to see, you know, other wrestling. But 10 a.m. on a Saturday, that's like old kids cartoon, like when we were kids and we were in the 80s and stuff, watching cartoons on Saturdays. But that doesn't exist anymore. That no one, you know, like now there's no one gets up in the morning on a Saturday just to watch certain programming.
There hasn't been
not with all that, and
there hasn't been a Saturday morning wrestling program since Superstars and Challenge back in the day.
Well, yeah, I mean not it was syndicated. Yeah, there was some syndicated stuff that would air locally, but it's just Saturdays aren't what they used to be for kids, and I assume that they're trying to think that all these masked kid wrestlers are going to be the idea for kids. So we're putting it on an obscure channel because not many people have MTV2. And then we're going to put it on at 10 a.m. on a Saturday. Put it on at night. Put it on, not on a Saturday night. Come on, let's be honest.
Well, originally it did air at night because when we were watching it, originally
I think it might have been a repeat. It might have been a repeat, or they moved it. I don't know. MTV's not the greatest channel in the world. You know, they show 8,000 episodes of Jersey Shore, repeats on MTV2.
Never seen it.
Yeah, so.
But no, the other thing was every week it seemed like they kept introducing other wrestlers. Like, hey, like. The first episode, Petey Williams showed up, and then the second episode, I can't remember if anybody showed up, but the third episode, Gregory Helms showed up, and it became like, hey, tune in next week to see what guy from a league.
I know that Billy Gunn, I believe, was supposed to appear or has appeared or whatever. I think they tape all their shows in 2 days, 2-3 days or something. So I think Kip Gunn, I believe is the name he's going under. I think he's supposed to be there. It's kind of weird. I mean,
or maybe
the production quality's bad. Production quality of the show is bad. Especially for MTV, actually, their productions really aren't that bad looking. But you can just tell that it just looks low budget. Maybe they just gave 2 craps about it. Maybe they spent all their budget on the wrestlers, bringing all the guys in from Mexico and stuff. because they had to take time out, fly and all that.
They didn't fly him. We saw the episode where they all
they jumped the border. That's right.
So
because that dumb R.J. Brewer guy
who got his head shaved.
Yeah, the little bit of hair he already had got shaved.
Well, speaking of Mexico, Raw taped in
Mexico City, and as you can tell, talking about Raw fell this far because it was filmed in Mexico City. Not because it was filmed in Mexico per se, but it was because it was taped. To me, the crowd felt like old WCW crowd piped in, or SmackDown. It felt like watching SmackDown. Like, for instance,
speaking of SmackDown, the best thing that happened in that whole taping happened on SmackDown.
Yeah, we'll get to that here in a second. On Raw, they did something that you only do on a tape show, and they do it on SmackDown. When a guy comes to the ring, while he's coming to the ring, they cut to a video package. And then all of a sudden, he's in the ring waiting for the guy. You can tell the time lapse. They cut things together like it's a TV show, like a non-televised, like not a sporting event, like it's a sitcom or something. And you can tell that you're not, when you watch a show live, especially like wrestling, which is like a pseudo sporting event, you watch it like a sporting event. I'm not watching when a guy goes up to bat at the World Series, they cut to the video package of the guy hitting home runs. That's what it felt like. And because like at a baseball game, every batter has his own theme song when he walks to the thing. Imagine if they cut that and all of a sudden like they got this like highlight video of him hitting home runs and diving for the ball. It kind of takes you out of it, and I think that they don't realize that. And I understand they can't make it live, but give it more of a live feel. That's all that I can ask for. And the crowd felt piped in, which is sad because the overseas crowds are crowds that aren't in America.
Well, they might be by the time we've done this video.
So, I mean, they'd be a lot. It was terrible.
My favorite, though, is on the live shows when it's a title match. And they go to a commercial, they come back from the commercial, and the champion's standing in the ring. He didn't even get an entry.
Right, yeah.
You know he's losing the title.
Yeah, it was dumb. And we'll go into the SmackDown news. Sin Cara Negro, who's the black one, the bad one, against Sin Cara Azul, the blue one, fought in a mask versus mask match. Great idea. It was in Mexico. Mexico mask versus mask. It's formerly Mystico. Everyone knows him there. The Azul, the good guy, won. Demasked the black one, and he just looked like Rey Mysterio as if he wasn't 12. Looked like he was actually of drinking age. That's about what I would say.
But they were in Mexico, isn't drinking age like as soon as you can hold a bottle?
I don't know what it is. So
slap a nipple on them.
It's just, I mean, I don't care less about the Sin Caras. Did you see any of that Sin Cara match?
The Sin Cara, saying it that way is like saying the Kardashians.
Yeah. When the blue one won, he won on a submission. The Negro was like, he acts like he's gonna take off, and then starts to walk out of the ring. And then someone's like, no, what are you doing? And then he slaps them, and they start another lucha spot fest. It looks so unrealistic, and they're just flipping around. I'm like, what's going on? Act like you're trying to not take the mask off. Try to act like you're running away. All of a sudden, it's like he picks up a second match. Well, I mean, they're used to having 2 out of 3 falls matches in Mexico. Maybe that's what he thought he was doing. It was dumb, but I mean, they should have given it away on pay-per-view, but I think maybe it's because the fans don't care. And maybe I don't know if they really promoted it much in Mexico recently. Maybe that's one of the reasons.
Well, if they were going to do it where it was for the mask, and then they were going to have them fight again in the match after the one guy already lost, they should have had them in the same costumes. They get mixed up, the referee can't tell them apart, and the guy that actually won, that got to keep his mask, he thought was the one that lost, and they took his mask.
I don't like that, but
it's better than what they've done.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad that I think that the one that lost is like the fake Kane. He's gone. He's back to SCW.
Sorry, Drew.
The only to come back is Luke Gallows.
Festus.
Or Festus. Oh man. So. When he hears the Taco Bell, he decides to become a...
Remember the time we were in the elevator with him and we got to the floor and he just started... It's crazy.
So, the only other real bit of news this week is CM Punk's great deal of getting first-class flights, apparently.
Rock on.
So for everything. So he gets to live like a rock star and not have to feel cramped. Especially because, like, Just imagine like all the mid-card WWE guys trying to get in the mid-level, into your like your coach chair or like any of those other seats. Just think about your average like David Otunga, who's a pretty big guy, sitting like in one of those. No, he's not. He's like 6'5".
He looks short on TV.
Yeah, it's because he's going against the Big Show, or Kane, or. And I think like Big Show, I think gets first class because I think he pays for the upgrade.
You mean the whole entire first class? So
probably. Yeah, probably.
I know. I know when they did
it's terrible.
The one year they did tribute to the troops, they used a military plane.
Yeah,
the Big Show couldn't sit in the seats.
Yeah.
So they had to have an inflatable bed, and apparently
they had to use an inflatable bed.
They used an inflatable bed, and he was laying on it. He was asleep, and Vince came in and, as a joke, took a knife and stabbed it. And Big Show like gets up, and Vince kind of was like, "Oh, what's the matter, Show?"
Yeah. So. I mean, you gotta think, like, not only these guys doing, like, wrestling, like, 4 or 5 times a week, then they do all this travel, and those guys are so jacked up that they have to sit in, like, these... Imagine being in a rental car. I mean, that's what Big Show has, that big van, like...
Oh, the Lex Express.
Pretty much. Or the DX Express, the one they blew up, they renovated it. The one that Austin blew up. It's terrible to think, it's kind of a tax write-off. You can get a lot of it written off because it's a expense.
That's a horrible wrestling storyline that you get so big in the company they give you your own bus.
Who, you mean DX's?
Well,
Big Show paid for his.
Randy Orton.
His DVD. Orton paid for his too. It's in his DVD.
Why would you want to? What? Why would you want a bus when you could fly first class?
Well, no, I think that, I think Big Show, I think that might be slightly funded from WWE. You gotta think, a lot of it's probably tax write-offs. And Show said that he's so big that even in first class or anything, he's not comfortable. So it's the only, and he said he's getting older, and it's harder for him to, like the stretching and stuff. It takes him longer to get ready for a match, so he said that when he's actually on the buses, he has, like, a custom-made bed that'll actually sleep. Like, it'll sleep him, so it'll sleep like 16 guys.
Well, I'd say it's safe to say he's probably not a member of the Mile High Club.
Probably not. Dude, he is the bathroom. I mean, he just sits back there. So, there wasn't too much really else going on. So we're going to go straight to our top 5. And I guess we're going to...
Crash the plane into it.
Alright, so...
Our top 5 is a mountain. We're going to crash.
Did you go last, or did I go last?
I think... It's your turn to go first.
Alright, I will go with Jay Lethal, which I believe is my first non-WWE guy on the top 5 the whole time. It's kind of impressive. Kind of impressive.
Ooh. And that's your number 5?
Number 5.
Mine's going to be a surprise. My number 5 is Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan?
He went face.
No, for no reason, you mean?
He wants to retire.
Is that why he wants to do it? It's stupid. Like, he was a heel, like, against Sting, and then Sting's like, "Help me, Hogan, because your own teammates are beating me up. Help me." He's crying to him, which is funny, because he's in that Joker makeup, so it's like some weird thing going on.
Well,
and then Hogan starts going, "Oh yeah, brother, I gotta pretend I'm in the 80s and beat up everybody," and it was really stupid.
He became born again. Because we all know...
Sting converted him.
Exactly. Yeah, they have a common friend. They have a common ally.
Okay. I'll at least buy that. And Lethal recently won the TV title. I watched a little bit of the ROH show on their website. You can watch it for free. Just make a free account. Watched the El Generico match where he won the TV title. Their TV titles like had a 15-minute time limit, or it was like the end of the show, like till the show ended, and then they got an overtime of a few minutes because they had like 2 or 3 minutes left of TV air. Yeah, and Cornette came out and goes, "Well, we only got 2 minutes of time left. Why don't we just have him wrestle?" And Lethal got a quick victory. And which is like an old school like WCW TV taping thing that
it's funny with Cornette running it that he let Lethal have the belt. We know.
New Jax came out and said he was a racist. I remember that. So that was cool. I mean, Lethal's a good wrestler. They ruined him in TNA. He could have been the next big guy when he beat Flair. I love the Black Machismo, but that starts off when you're a smaller guy. You can't be taken serious as the Black Machismo. You start off these kind of comical characters. You become more serious. But even before he was
Black Machismo, the whole Jay Lethal. I mean, the guy's a phenomenal guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's a good wrestler. Everything.
I wish
he's got better on the mic.
That they would put him and Consequences Creed together and have Lethal Consequence.
They did.
Oh, well.
They were together, but
shows how much I watched TNA.
I really don't remember if they might have called him that. Actually,
I don't think they did.
I think they just put the only two black guys in the league together, minus Devon.
I mean Jim Ross.
They're like, yeah, let's just put the two black guys together.
Jim Ross.
They'll know each other.
Gangsters.
It's Vince Russo. You think he cares? Remember, he used to have Mexican wrestlers fight for pinatas on bulls.
He also had them ride to the ring on lawnmowers.
No, that wasn't him. That was on SmackDown. Remember, it was
that Bischoff?
No, that was probably Stephanie McMahon. Mexicals.
Oh.
No, it was SmackDown. She's rode SmackDown forever.
And Psychosis broke character by carjacking somebody.
Yeah. That's when the gimmick came to life. Came to like, you see your gimmick becomes your real character, like Ultimate Warrior. So let's go to number 4. Oh. Silly me, it's a little late at night. I picked Cody Rhodes.
Again?
Yes.
Kevin Nash.
Alright. I think we can tell you that Nash is probably the reason because of him, and the
interfering in the match.
It's kind of nice to see him around, and he's kind of being used right.
Let's hope.
Yeah, they need to stop. They need to eventually have him in a match though, because you can't only do this so many times where he comes in and interferes. Cody Rhodes
not
for me.
If he's back to the old bodyguard.
Yeah, but I think you need to now, because everyone's seen him wrestle. You could tease people then he never wrestled, so you can drag it on.
He never wrestled.
Well, he never wrestled before.
He hasn't wrestled since.
Well, not when I was a kid. I didn't know he was Oz or Vinny Vegas or any of that stuff. I don't know.
No, but according to them, he was at Royal Rumble. But prior to that, he hasn't wrestled since the last time he wrestled.
Yeah, 5.5 years, like Booker T. Him and Booker T wrestled about the same time. Cody Rhodes for me, because I believe he is the next real wrestling superstar there. But I know you don't. I know you don't like him. Sadly he lost to Orton tonight.
Oh.
But that's
the Phantom of the Opera lost.
Yeah, well, he should have lost to. Well, the funny thing is, Phantom of the Opera was kind of boring. Orton's really boring, and hence.
No, I meant Cody Rhodes was Phantom of the Opera.
I know. I said it's boring, and then Orton's boring. It just ties them together for you. Orton's terrible. So I hate Randy Orton.
He used to be good.
Legend killer. It's the only time I thought he was okay.
Nah, he was good.
Actually, I liked him as a face. I am actually probably one of the few people that actually liked him when he Evolution turned on him, and he was really, really young. He was like the youngest
23
world champion at the time ever in
Just
WWE.
turned 23.
And he beat someone that.
I liked
He
him.
beat Benoit.
I liked him pretty much all the way up until maybe this year. Right around the time he started growing the beard, he just overly used.
Well, he's the SmackDown guy.
That's watered down.
Him.
It's just.
That's it.
And
that's why they put him on SmackDown, because it's Raw, Cena, SmackDown's Orton.
I like that.
Even though no one goes to SmackDown.
I like that he took
which
out
kind of proves why Orton's terrible.
I think the last time that I really, really liked him was when he was doing the kicks. He took out Vince. He took out Stephanie.
Oh yeah, that was
Shane,
okay.
Linda.
All right, number 3. Triple H.
Jay Lethal.
Man, we need to get on the ball and get at least one of our numbers together to sit like the right guy at the same time.
I don't think they'll be in the same.
No, not all 5 in the same. We need to get like one number.
No, I'm saying I don't think they'll be in the.
Well, I mean, we got a lot of guys similar. So yours is Lethal.
Yeah.
I assume it's the same reason as mine.
Pretty much.
And Triple H, I think we covered him last week. He's Triple H. I just kind of nice to see him.
Not only did we cover him last week, but was it Truth or Miz that got the win on that? I don't think we even read that.
Oh.
One of them got.
Well, it didn't really matter because Nash kind of like.
One of them covered it.
It was Nash. I mean, he kind of. Nash won the match.
Yeah, Nash couldn't hit him because.
Well, it didn't matter. Nash won the match if you think about it. And a lot of times with those screwjob things, it doesn't matter who was the winner. It matters who was the loser and how they lost on a lot of those things when it's like this.
Us,
screwjob
the fans.
Do we lose or we win?
We were the losers.
No,
we were the winners because we didn't pay. We just
we didn't even stream it. I mean, we weren't even going to legally down watches.
No, we down watch it.
Okay, I hate that. What was the last It was Hell in a Cell, but that wasn't that long ago.
2 weeks.
Okay. Then you had a TNA pay-per-view last week.
Well, if you want to call it that.
Well, we did. And then we have tonight. We have whatever this is called.
There's a question.
Vengeance. And then I think Survivor Series is only in a couple. Is like 4 weeks at least. At least it's got a little bit of a build up.
There's a question.
Too much, man. In this economy with crappy there's a lack of money going around and everything.
There's a question. Why do you have a pay-per-view, and then in the case of WWE, they have a pay-per-view. The champion retains the title. Then he has a title match on Raw, loses the belt. And in the case of Impact,
they did the same thing.
Why do you do that? Why make people pay for this pay-per-view?
Yeah.
The belt doesn't change hands, but then the next night give it away for free.
I think that the world title, especially the world title, should only be defended on TV, cable TV, like your show, once every 6 months. So you have 2 a year.
I don't know about that.
And then maybe every now. Well, you don't have. That's what you have the Intercontinental for, and you have the tag teams for. You can defend them all the time. Make those guys the working champions.
Who really cares about that?
No, but the pay-per-views. Well, that's why. Well, they would if you defended them more. I think they would if you.
I don't think that worked back in the '80s, where the Intercontinental Champion was constantly defending the belt. It was a more prestigious belt, but doesn't mean.
It certainly did. It was the rising star thing. What is it? It's sure. Whatever, come on, how many times we see Ricky Steamboat fight, some guy that didn't deserve really a shot?
Well, here's a good example, WrestleMania 3.
Yeah, but that's...
Highest attendance. The Intercontinental title match was Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat. Do you think more people bought the pay-per-view to watch that match, or to see
Andre and Hogan? That match is hyped, through the roof. But the thing is that the idea of the Intercontinental title is to showcase the up-and-comers.
Yeah, it's the stepping stone.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what TV title was really good for. WWE,
I love the TV title.
And that's what ROH is doing well with it, too, is every week they're defending it. No matter if it's a lower card guy.
On TV,
the nice thing is even if you're a lower card guy, let's say you're one of those guys, you're that guy shouldn't be fighting for the title. It's name recognition. You now remember, hey, do you remember when he fought for the TV whatever. He fought for the TV title. And WWE they don't need a TV champion. Just use the Intercontinental in the U.S. because they're already separate belts on separate TV shows. They can defend them at pay-per-views because that's fine. But just have them defended. I don't think every week, because sometimes I think it's a little ridiculous when you fight them every week. It's 52 title defenses, and you're going to run out of guys to fight. So I think every other week. But you might have back-to-back weeks. Maybe you fight the same guy 2 weeks in a row because last week he had a really good match.
Or if it's a time limit draw, yeah.
Exactly. See, there's ways to get around it.
That's how they used to do it. If it was a 15-minute, then they'd give them 20 minutes the next week, and it'd go until it was a half hour and something. Exactly.
Well, then what you do is you do that 2 in a row, then you have the third one on pay-per-view.
I wonder if there's ever been a wrestling league that didn't have a TV deal but had a TV champion.
Oh, there might have been. I talked about in a recent video that it's going to be up soon about independent leagues having world championships. I'm pretty sure that the idea of having a TV title is the exact same way. Because they just take whatever they see on the national leagues and they just do it on their own. So, and are we on 2 or 3? 2 or 1? Number 2? Nash.
CM Punk.
Oh, why?
He's still on number 2. Why? The big reason he didn't get powerbombed by Nash and lose the match.
Okay, I'll give you that.
That's why it was CM Punk at number 2 and not Triple H.
I'll give you that a little bit, but
I still find Punk interesting.
He doesn't do anything anymore, though.
That's not his fault.
But Steve Austin doesn't do anything anymore, but he's not going to be my number 1 favorite wrestler because of his prior work.
It's not the prior work.
Well, that's kind of what you're going off of.
No, it's not. When Punk is there...
But he hasn't been there.
What do you mean he hasn't been there?
I'm not blaming him. He hasn't been there. It's not like his character's been there. It's Triple H or Johnny
He was there Monday night.
I know, but he's just there. He's just there. He's a body. He might as well be a diva.
He had part of a match.
Yeah, well, so did, who else wrestled
He came out, he had a lot to say. It was...
He's kind of falling into a rut where it's just CM Punk, I come out and I speak on my pipe bomb and I'm done. I mean, it's not that I don't like it, but it's just that it's you could tell that it's not him. It's the problem. It's them writing him.
Plus, he did do the Florida Championship Wrestling thing.
He did come out on that and do that. Yeah, I agree. I'll give you that. And Nash, yeah, we talked about it. Man, I can't keep my numbers straight.
Plus, the guys are supposed to fluctuate up and down.
All right. Here's our number ones, and I think this might be the only chance we could get it. Mine's James Storm.
So's mine.
Okay, yeah, we finally got it. This is what, episode 5? And it's the 4th one that we did, because we did a special where it was our top 5 wrestlers of all time. So, yeah.
Just in case somebody doesn't.
Yeah, I should show you here. So, that's obvious, I think. He's the only guy that had a good week in wrestling. Everyone just had
best week ever.
Well, for him. So,
maybe for his wife. He's married.
I don't know. So, hopefully more comes from him. I'm sure that it also probably isn't a coincidence that Russo was demoted and Storm gets the title.
Yeah.
That
I think it's
probably isn't a coincidence.
I think it's great. I hope he hangs on to it for a while.
They got to. They got to. You got to do that, especially the new guy. Because then he's just, once he becomes a paper champion, it's kind of hard to lose that.
I thought the thing that was strange was Bischoff's son turning on Bischoff.
Kind of. Well, really? Hogan turned and didn't make any less sense. At least Jackson James makes a little more sense because he was a ref. He had, like Russ kind of supposed to be impartial a little bit. So you think, he's going to side with... Actually, I'll tell you also, I really don't think a lot of people realize, like you said, you didn't even realize that was Bischoff's son. They've only talked about it a few times.
That's only because I haven't really watched Impact.
They don't say it on there that much. I don't even know what they do. But who the heck Googles Jackson James? Like, I want to see who this referee is.
Jackson James.
I'm sure I would be too if I'm like, I want to see who he's talking about me on the internet. Remember Slick Johnson?
Triple H used to do that all the time.
Yeah. Remember Slick Johnson in TNA? The bald guy with the shorts?
Yeah.
So, he was a character, so everyone remembers him, but...
He actually looked more of a wrestler than some of the
guys
that had wrestling there.
Look, Chris Daniels. So, just stay tuned to WrestlingRingPost.com. There'll be more Hardway coming at you soon.
Plus the Halloween episode.
It'll be up probably Friday or Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. Lucha Libre.
It's going to get lots of ratings. It'll get like 5 views. Probably more though than Lucha Libre USA.
Well,
we should guarantee it. I'm guaranteeing that we will have more views than Lucha Libre USA any other episodes this season.
Let's hope they're canceled then.